Hi, Keith Townsend from the CTOadvisor.com. I know you guys looking at it, another funny camera angle. We're working these things out. Hey, I gotta give a tip of the cap to Missy Young over at Switch. This is inspired by her recent news that she's now CIO over at Switch. Congratulations, Missy. Nice to see women in STEM moving forward, and I'm sure it's because of just a lot of hard work. However, it reminded me of a conversation I had over on the podcast with Mark Teal some months ago when he was over at Switch, and that's the enabling force that a cloud hoteler is. So that term is a little really weird, and I think we'll learn what it is in a bit. So one of the interesting kind of movements in enterprise IT is to say, you know what, we don't want to just go with AWS or Azure or Google Compute. We want a multi cloud strategy. I talked to a really large global firm the other day, and we were talking through the challenges of multi cloud, and one of the biggest challenges is latency. So we've talked about this over on the Cube. John Furrier likes to refer to this as the latency problem or the speed of light problem. And let's draw that out really simple. So if you have two cloud providers, let's say you have Google, GCP, and Azure, and you want to build connectivity in an app that, let's say you want to take advantage of GCP's AI. They have really great AI, and Azure obviously has strong Linux and Windows and PaaS support. You want to build an application that spans these two services. One of the obvious things you can do is create a VPN between the two. However, especially with heavy data analysis, the latency between the two physical cloud providers may prove to be too great to actually have a functioning application. So, what's some of the solutions to that? There's a bunch. But let's talk specifically about where cloud hotel comes into play. This is also referred to as a CNF, carrier neutral facilities, in which you have someone like an Equinix, a Switch, that are basically meet me points. So when you go to, let's say, AWS and say you want to direct connect, AWS isn't going to give you a circuit straight to your data center. They're going to meet you at one of these cloud hotels, i.e., Equinix or Switch, in which they'll colo network equipment in one of these facilities. You'd colo network equipment in those facilities, and then you can basically have anywhere from a 1 gig to a 2 gig to a 10 gig connection between your facilities at the colo and the facilities at Google Compute. So if your data center is down here, you can have a 1 gig MPLS circuit, or point to point, and you'll virtually have a 1 gig connection to your cloud providers. Instead of having multiple connections to each cloud provider, you have a single connection and you have a 1 gig connection to the cloud. The great thing about this is that we can add yet another cloud provider. Now we have 1 gig throughput to any cloud provider. This makes building applications on premises and talking to cloud providers great, but it doesn't solve the latency problem. It, no matter how much bandwidth I can upgrade this link to 10 gig, and it will still take 70 milliseconds to get from here to here, or to there. That's an incredible amount of latency when I have sub 1 millisecond latency from my data center within my data center. So building cross cloud applications becomes tough in this environment. However, what we can do, we can take a solution like Clear Sky. Clear Sky does some really interesting things, and this is the simple way to do it. You can outsource to Clear Sky. You can look at a solution like NetApp, Rubrik. Again, a ton of people do this from either a secondary or primary data perspective, in which there's a device, primary storage, living in the Equinix or switch facility in our CNF, or there's a service living here with a caching layer at our on-premises data center. So virtually I have that super low data center speed quality from my on-premises solution into the cloud provider or the CNF, the cloud hotel, and then my cloud providers or my cloud services can then access that same storage layer at super low latencies. Again, we can put these acceleration devices inside the cloud provider. I think there's several players they'll let you do virtual appliances in the cloud. So now I've created this super low latency network, data network across multiple cloud providers, leveraging both physical high speed connections into a data center hotel or cloud hotel CNF, and the adding a layer of caching devices on top of that and physical storage to provide a really robust low latency network. Now, I haven't seen this done really well at scale. I haven't talked to a customer yet that's implemented this, so I still have a few questions about how this functionally works. Is this great for transactional data? I can see some problems if you're trying to run transactional workloads across multiple clouds. That caching layer may not be up to snuff. I don't know. I haven't seen this done at scale, but this is conceptually how a cloud hotel can help in your multi-cloud strategy. That's it for this CTO advisor. Or this CTO Daily Dose. We'll talk to you next Daily Dose. Again, if you'd like to sponsor the Daily Dose, your message could have been at the beginning of this episode. You can find out more about sponsorship opportunities, sales at ctoadvisor.com. We can have this discussion. If you'd like to talk more about this on LinkedIn, that's my favorite medium for going back and forth. This video will be posted on LinkedIn. Look me up on LinkedIn, or you can just search for the hashtag Daily Dose. Talk to you guys next Daily Dose.